out in front of the field. Elmo Langley, former Winston Cup racer. He is a pace car driver. We'll have some shots from that vantage point as well for you today. 26 cars pit on the front side. Derek Cope qualified second day. There's Elmo from the dashboard of the safety car. And Derek went out to re-qualify to try to get in the top 26, and he got the last pit stop on the front stretch. And in the garage area, a lot of folks feel that that's necessary if you're going to win this thing. You got to pit on the front rather than the back. Pace car is in as you saw Elmo bring that car to a halt. And we are ready to let fly with the Goodwrench 500. Green flag. Pontiac and Ford on the front row and on the brake. To no one's surprise, Kyle Petty.
I think the surprise is going to be how big a brake, Mike. He's shown so much strength here year in and year out. They're just wondering if they can even hang on to him now.
Pontiac, 3 Fords and a Pontiac. 492 laps here. Those 3 Fords are Elliott, Brett Bodine, then Rusty Wallace, hit Mark Martin for the 4th spot. Alan Kulwicki is 6th, Ernie Irvin 7th. Dale Earnhardt is 8th, Davey Allison 9th, Kenny Schrader 10th. Riding with Rusty Wallace along the front straightaway. Brett Bodine just ahead of Rusty in those familiar Quaker State colors, but that's a Ford this year for Kenny Bernstein's team. Buick is out of Winston Cup racing, turning their attentions elsewhere in the motorsports arena.
Boy, that shot right there makes you wonder, Mike, how a guy can have something in certain racetracks. Everybody used to say, well, he's got a certain car he runs at Rockingham, but at the top of the show, we made fact known that they brought a different car here. Kyle's still able to have a stout run with them and with a different race car this time.
Right, Neil, we saw Darrell Waltrip there trying to make his move. Started back in 24th spot. Line 4 position. Lap 4. Waltrip working way up to the outside of Morgan Shepherd, the Daytona 500 runner-up. And Dave Marcus in the blue car debuts a new sponsor, Abilene Boots. They rode with him in the 500. Guess he had to abandon his old wingtips he used to drive in.
I can't imagine him driving anything but wingtips. He probably wears his boots at night, don't you think?
They must make him wingtip cowboy boots then. Morgan Shepherd in the Wood Brothers car. And Darrell Waltrip back there midfield.
You know what's unusual about the preferred line is usually the inside of this racetrack. Darrell, through year in and year out, likes to run high on his racetrack. He sets his car up to run high, and a lot of times later in the race, he's in good shape for that.
Waltrip in 19th position. Breaks about 9th position here as Davey Allison draws in on Earnhardt.
Boy, Davey is really sticking nicely on the bottom of the racetrack. Remember the last race, he started coming on, the longer he run, the better he run. That's the tendency of that car of Davies down here. Oh, Earnhardt's loose. You see the back of that car?
Now that doesn't surprise you.
Well, I don't think he wants it that loose.
No.
You see him dropping back. Very seldom he'll pull over and let somebody go.
Let's see what he can do with Davey now.
When that loose condition really occurs, it's just like we saw that right then. Davey stuck the nose of the car right under Earnhardt. All of a sudden the car breaks loose. It takes air off that rear spoiler. So it's kind of a defensive play and offensive play. You know, it really affects the guy in front of you when you do that.
Back in the field. Well back behind this battle, there's Richard Petty running in 27th spot, qualified 29th. He and Derek Cope pulling up on Sterling Marlin and Ricky Rudd. Back up front, Bill Elliott is running down Kyle Petty. Now, those wheelbarrows full of bonus money apply only if Kyle wins the race. From the pole, from the outside pole, Elliott's potential winning is approximately $45,000. If he goes to victory lane.
I tell you what, Bill Elliott's getting in the corner a lot faster than Kyle is right now. I don't know whether the chassis is getting loose or what.
Buddy, you hit the nail on the head. Watch right here as they enter the corner. This is when Bill runs all over him, gets down in the corner. And boy, if you get a car that gets loose getting down in the corner here, you're in trouble. Here's Elliott going to drive up under him coming off the 4 turn.
The fans come to their feet. Ford leads the lap for the first time today.
Mike, I guess that answers one question. Everybody wonders, can anybody race with Kyle Petty? It looks like they can real early.
Not only can he run with him, he's going away from him right now.
That's Andy Belmont low on the track apron. He'd been black flagged on the start of this race. So it's Elliott who's going to wander off from the field now for a while.
Yeah, you know, Bill's pulling away, but it's a combination. Kyle is dropping back. He's having some kind of trouble because the third place car is really gaining on him, too.
Here's that battle again. Darrell Waltrip and Morgan Shepherd continuing to move up. They are closing in on Jeff Bodine in the Bud Moore car, number 15. Great story here. On the starting grid of the Daytona 500, Bodine said, you know, I've been watching the Olympics on TV and watching those guys on the bobsled. They got good pushers, but they need a driver, somebody that understands the banking and the G-forces. I want to go drive a bobsled. And Tuesday he will at Lake Placid, New York. The bobsled organizing committee has invited him up to audition for a seat.
I'm going to tell you, he's going to meet reality head on there. When he gets in that bobsled, that's a whole different story from the race car that turns the minute you turn the wheel.
I can't wait. We're going for a ride up there. I'll let you know how it turns out.
Oh, you're going with him?
Yep. Wish I'd been to Buck Baker School first, but I guess he'll have to wait till after.
Neil, we better really learn what we're doing up here if he's going to ride in the bobsled.
There won't be any discussion about horsepower, that's for sure. Darrell Waltrip is underneath Bodine. Probably use
make it stick now.
Yeah, Jeff can probably use a little bit of bobsled right here. That opens up the bottom groove, but Shepherd's going to go up with the Ford. Hold position for the moment. Waltrip in 17, 15 is Bodine, 21 is Shepherd. Bobby Hamilton coming into the picture, last year's Rookie of the Year. And here comes Morgan on the outside. See a lot of cars that are just not stuck to the bottom of the racetrack, even this early in the race.
Mike, you know what's unusual about that? As we talked about at the top of the show, it's clear as a bell. There's not a cloud in the sky, and it's the same way it's been since they unloaded the cars. If you've ever had the opportunity to set a car up for a race, it's been this week. There's not a cloud in the sky. You can't say the sun's out, the sun's in. You don't have any excuses this today. You've got to have it ready. Things have been perfect all week long.
Let's move up, Neil, and look at the race for third. Here's Brett Bodine. The Quaker State T-Bird and the Miller Pontiac for Rusty Wallace closing in.
Yeah, Rusty's working real well, too. He looks like he's gaining a little bit on Brett going in the corner also. Same gain there. Brett's car is handling extremely well. The back end starts right down. Just as I said that, he turned sideways.
He heard you. Rusty is there. Third and fourth at stake here. Elliott leads. Kyle Petty is second. This is the race for third. Use Del McCowart there as a pick.
See if it loosens the Quaker State car getting in the corner. Before, when he drove up behind Earnhardt, it got him loose, but it looked like Brett Bodine's car was sticking a little bit better. Derek
Cope having trouble early, changing 4 tires on the Purelator Chevrolet, which is now crew chief by Barry Dodson, at least for this weekend. Doug Williams departed that team early in the week.
Neil, that looks like he may have had a tire equalizer or something, because he's changing all 4 this early. It has to be some big problem with the vibration or something.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to pick which one it is, and everybody says, well, tell me which tire it is. The vibration is so bad, there's no way to tell. You just have to change all 4 of them.
Left rear tire was down on that car. They changed all 4. Now Mark Martin has come out to make this a 3-car race for third, within striking distance of Kyle Petty. $19 laps in.
You see Mark Martin getting into this little battle here with Rose Bodine and Rusty, too.
And there's Dale Earnhardt working underneath Ernie Irvin, the 8th place car. Or is that Irvin going around the outside of Dale?
Temporarily, Dale going around the 4 car.
So 8th changes hands. Put Earnhardt in 8th behind Kulwicki. They lap past the Randy Baker car. Irvin to 9th, and there's Kenny Schrader right in the picture in 10th in the Kodiak Chevrolet.